So as you guys know, Ryan has been doing these little live streams about his relationship with Gypsy Rose and about all of the drama they've gone through, as well as just he's sitting down talking to random people, trying to vent. And I think this is a good thing because he's not really saying anything bad about Gypsy. And it's evidently clear to me that Ryan needs an outlet. He needs somewhere where he can express himself because in many ways it's like this situation is so one-sided. Gypsy gets to put her side of the story out there everywhere. Gypsy has every opportunity to tell her side of the story on any TV show network you can think of, through books, through whatever you can think of, basically. Gypsy has the means and she has the support to express herself, to tell her side of the story, to do and say whatever she wants. But Ryan, on the other hand, all he has is social media. And due to the recent release of the Gypsy Rose show, a lot of the normies, a lot of your regular everyday people who aren't paying attention to what's going on behind the scenes, they think Ryan is like this big bad dude because of the way they try to portray him, because of the narratives that they have put out there. But I don't think any of that is true. I don't think Ryan is a bad person. And I say that as someone who criticized and made fun of Ryan a lot, when Gypsy first got out of jail. But he said something in one of these live streams that really stuck out to me. Well, he said a few things, but I'm of the belief, and I've stated this before, this is nothing new, I believe that the people closest to Gypsy are manipulating her. Now, obviously, even though people still view Gypsy as a child, she is a grown woman. She's capable of making her own decisions. I'm not trying to take any of the accountability off of her. However, I do believe there are people, her family, not necessarily her father, but the stepmom, other people. I believe there are people there encouraging her not to do the right thing, but to do the wrong thing. And I believe that they were encouraging her to leave Ryan. Not necessarily because there was a big issue with Ryan, but because they knew that is what would get Gypsy the most attention. You see, there are people in Gypsy's ear, in my opinion, that are influencing her to do things that will get her more attention, more press, more clout, more recognition, as opposed to influencing her to do things that are actually good for Gypsy. Don't get me wrong. Breaking up with Ryan and getting with Ken, that was a great career move for Gypsy. If Gypsy wants her career to be this social media influencer that does a bunch of drama and nonsense, if that's what she wants to be known for, then leaving Ryan, that was a good idea for her career. But is it a good idea for her as a human being, as a person? I don't think so. And for all of the people who still look at Gypsy as damaged goods, they still look at her as a victim. Why wouldn't you want her to have some sense of normalcy or stability? But that's not what people want. People want the most entertaining outcomes. And unfortunately for Gypsy, the people who are supposed to care about her and her well-being, they're more concerned about the more entertaining outcomes as well. But before I go any further, I want to roll this clip. Let's listen to what Ryan has to say, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Yes, I'm on summer break, and it's awesome. Guys, I get why teachers love summer break. Pat, stop. I get it. Love you too. Go away. What grade do I teach? Middle school. What's the point of this live? Just talking. How do I feel about Mia? Guys, I don't have an issue with Mia. I know she doesn't like me. I know Mia doesn't like me, and that's fine. She can have that opinion. But honestly, guys, if y'all think I was bad for Gypsy, y'all were wrong. Like, if you think that, I was good to Gypsy, good for Gypsy. You know, I helped Gypsy a lot, so is what it is. Yeah, I was very good to Gypsy. Do I miss her on a day like today? Knowing that I met her 3 years ago, yeah, I miss her today. Yeah, I do. You literally hated her family? I didn't hate her family. I never hated her family. I love her dad still. I never hated her family. I never did anything to her family. Because I love that people say that I kept her from her family. Like, that was one of the things they said when Gypsy first left. The only thing I ever did to keep her from her family was live in Lake Charles. I lived 3 hours away. That's the only thing I ever did, kept her from her family. I never said, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Never. Ever did I do that. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. You know, I thought it was weird how when I'd see her family or something, they'd say, this is something they always said that bothered me. They said, thank you for letting us see Gypsy. And I'd be like, letting you see Gypsy, like you could see Gypsy whenever you want. Like, it was kind of like I was the gatekeeper. And I think that was to put that in Gypsy's head that I was keeping, because that was never the case. Like, I didn't understand that. Because I'd even say something to Gypsy about it, like, why did they say that? Because it would bother me as a person. Like, I didn't keep you from them, ever.
So they're painting out Ryan to be this bad guy that is keeping Gypsy away from the family. But they live hours away. It's not like Ryan is going to get up and jump up and take Gypsy to her dad's house every single day and drive 3 hours there and 3 hours back. But like he said, they were making certain comments. They were saying certain things to go ahead and implant those thoughts into Gypsy's mind. They are 100% manipulating Gypsy, and it's sad because I think some people see Gypsy and they see an opportunity to manipulate her. They know that, she was manipulated a lot as a child. They know that her growth has been stunted by prison and everything else she went through. So they view her as someone they could kind of control, someone they can manipulate, someone they can make little sly comments around, and they can plant little seeds that eventually grow into fruit. And that's what was happening, Ryan. When you would go visit her family, and not her father, but her little stepmama and that little sister or whatever the hell she is, they're planting seeds. Seeds that they hope would one day grow. And lo and behold, their seeds grew into a gigantic freaking apple tree. Maybe it's a freaking beanstalk. You know what I mean? Their seeds that they planted, they did come to fruition when Gypsy left you. But not only were they planting these seeds, they were also trying to reintroduce, past lovers. They were trying to reintroduce them into Gypsy's life. So if you ask me, as crazy as it may sound, there was an entire effort put forth to pry Gypsy away from Ryan and to get Gypsy with this Ken dude. Now, why is that? I believe, follow me here, I think that these manipulators in Gypsy's family, I think they were threatened by Ryan. Because, say what you want about Ryan, Ryan brought a certain sense of stability into Gypsy's life. The relationship that Gypsy had with Ryan seemed more valid than the relationship she has with Ken. They were afraid that Gypsy would go off and live this married life with Ryan, and then the stepmom's opportunity to, get her face on a few cameras, to make a little money off of Gypsy Rose, all of their opportunities would go down the drain if Gypsy goes and lives a happily married life like a normal person. So I think they were threatened by that stability, because what they want is they want Gypsy to be unstable. They want her to be in a constant state of turmoil, because that way they could take advantage of her and manipulate her, and they have better access to her so they can get their hands on her, put whatever thoughts they want into her brain, and what have you. Ryan provided a sense of stability that they did not like, whereas Ken, it's chaos. Because, you see, Ryan had set down the foundation for their relationship. They were married. They had a home. He had put several things into place to make sure Gypsy was okay. Ken is some dude who just broke up with some other girl to go be with Gypsy because Gypsy got famous. You know, there's not that stability there. So they want that. They want that chaos. They want Gypsy to be with someone who is also there for chaos and to manipulate her, because it makes it easier for them to manipulate Gypsy as well. I hope you all are following me here. You see, they viewed Ryan as a threat. Ryan was a obstacle, a barricade standing in their way, you know, as they try to manipulate and make whatever money they can off of what Gypsy went through as a child. Whereas Ken's not going to stand in their way, because Ken has the same motive that they do. All of them want to get some form of recognition, some form of clout, or some form of financial gain by being connected to Gypsy. And Ryan was the only thing standing in the way of all of these people taking advantage of her. So that's why Ryan is painted out as the villain. And that's why they're implanting these little thoughts into Gypsy's mind. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I hate that. I hate when anyone does that. I hate that Ryan had to go through that. But these are the type of people that are out there. They're snakes. Some of the people closest to you are snakes. And you have to accept that. And you have to be able to spot it when you see it. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.